Up a check, I might do it again. Enemies close, have me thinking they're friends. 10 toes down, I'll be free until the end. Crib outside the city, I don't feel safe in my hands. Took so many years, I'm just waiting for the wins. I'm in debt to no one but the one who took my sins. I do it for real, there's no reason to pretend. If I do it once, I do it again. Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up, bankroll, euro, peso, add it up. I'm just doing me, everything is on me. Oh, you matter what? Add it up. Told her if it's all me, everything is on me. Gon' back it up. Matter what? Told you I'ma do me. Why you hating on me? It's not adding up. I do roll.
Yo, welcome back to another episode of the E.P.I.C podcast. It's just me and Jared in the house today right now. Justin should be joining us later after he got out of class. So, how's your sports weekend been? Or your sports week has been?
Oh shit! The Reds swept the Dodgers this weekend, so I was happy to see that. And then we got picked up game one against the Cardinals yesterday, so I
Okay.
was happy to see that. We down 3-0 now though, so we probably back to our normal ways. But just to see us sweep the Dodgers, that was exciting. So I'm glad we was able to do that. But yeah,
Yeah.
man, for the most part, just chilling out, man. I wish we had better conference finals to speak on. I don't know how we go from 6 and 7 game series to sweeps. Like that's crazy.
Yeah,
Uh,
man.
ooh, that's out of here.
It was hard fought, man, and it was some tight games. It was just I don't know, man. Turnover. I don't know, man. We're gonna talk about it. I ain't gonna get into it right now. But I want the rep for the team. You know what I mean? Of course, season cut shorter than what we like, but I mean, outside of that, I mean, it's been hard to watch the Red Sox just because they've been sucking. Um, but outside of that, man, really it, man. Uh, rest in peace to Bill Walton.
Yeah, that was crazy. That caught me off guard like a mug, man. I had no idea he was even sick.
Yeah,
That's just
definitely.
the type of guy he is. I mean, he comes across as the guy that would just rather deal with the illnesses,
Yeah. Then fight.
himself rather than getting the sympathy. Like he just screams that type of guy. So it
Yeah,
really,
I don't think too many people outside like his inner circle knew.
yeah, yeah,
So
definitely unfortunate though.
yeah, definitely. Definitely a legend. Man, won on every level. Was an MVP, 1978 MVP. So did pretty much everything you could do. Won championships, won NCAA championship. I think he won Player of the Year 3 years at UCLA.
Mm,
So yeah, man, definitely a legend, man. 71. I mean, nowadays is young, but when
yeah,
you battling cancer secretly, I mean, who knows? You know what I mean? It could be any time. So,
for sure.
definitely a different thinker. Great on TV, man. Commentating, calling games.
Throw
Uh,
it down, big man. Throw it
so
down.
yeah, definitely enjoyed
Shout out to Bill
his
Walton.
voice watching basketball over the years. So yeah,
Conference
nah.
of Champions.
You said what?
He always called the Pac-12 the Conference of Champions, and that's actually crazy. That soon as the Pac-12 dissolves, he leaves. Like that's
Yeah, that is weird.
he was like the mascot for the Pac-12, and the same year that the Pac-12 is no more, you know what I'm saying, we lose Bill Walton. That's crazy. Rest in peace to him though.
Yeah, man. T's and P's to all his family. So
Yeah.
yeah, man. Let's get into it, man. I think this will be a good way to start things. Um, NFL OTAs, man. Chase and Higgins not at OTAs, Bengals OTAs, but it's not mandatory. First off, let's just put that out there. But usually when some of your star players don't show up. Usually they're like, unless it's an injury or something like that, there's usually something going on in the background. Most of the time it's contracts. Of course, Chase is still under contract till next year. And Higgins haven't signed the franchise tag. So technically he's not on the roster until he's signed and he's not required to be there. Uh,
Mm-hmm.
being all things Bengals, what do you think about this? Is there any fire where there's smoke or
Next man up. I mean, the Bengals is documented that the Bengals are one of the dumbest franchises in the history of professional sports. So I mean, nothing surprises me. Like literally, nothing surprises me. And I think people want me to be rattled by stuff happening, bruh. After 35 years of this shit, like I, nothing bothers me. I'm
Mm.
not bothered. Literally, not bothered by anything. So if we were to, and it's almost like I wish we would just trade guys when guys were, but we're just such an idiotic franchise that we can't get out of our own way. I mean, T. Higgins should have been traded last year. You know what I'm saying? That's what a good team would have done, but it's just like we're not a good organization. So yeah, nothing surprises me. Chase for 100% plays this year. Chase
Yeah, yeah.
100% plays this year. T. Higgins, I'm not too sure about. I mean, he'd be a fool if he didn't. But I mean, it's just like it's just ways to go about things, and the Bengals never go about things in the right way. Even if your goal is to, um, not pay him or whatever the goal is, like there's ways to go about it. You know what I'm saying? Like they probably haven't even discussed the contract with him at all, and like that's kind of disrespectful to a player. It's like at least give me the opportunity to turn something down and counter it, whatever. You know what I'm saying? The Bengals just don't work like that. They're just an idiotic franchise that just expects. I don't even. They don't even expect much. I can't even say they expect anything. They're just there, and it's like as long as the checks are clearing, the front office, the roster moves, everything's just on simulate. So it is what
Yeah,
it is.
yeah, it do seem like that sometime, and I
But
think
my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. But next man up. Do I think Chase can be replaced? Yes. Do I think T. Higgins can be replaced? Yes. Do I think those guys are on our roster currently? Not sure. But that's another reason that the Bengals suck because we should know what we have going into a season. If the guys were already there. So that's just Bengals being Bengals. I I can't be rattled by any of it. It's just I'm numb to everything. So it is what it is.
yeah, I think kind of like how you've been saying, trying to figure out what's on your roster. I think this at the receiver position at least gives them a chance to see what else they have. You know
Right.
what I mean? So it's like, okay, if Higgins do leave, which chances are high, especially if they don't get a deal done. I mean, he'll be a free agent next year. He's probably going to leave after requesting a trade and everything else that we've been
But,
hearing going
but see,
on.
the only thing that he probably doesn't know about the Bengals is that the Bengals is going to call his bluff. So the way the franchise tags work is it's not just 1 year; it's 2 years. So
Mm.
if he sits out this year, he's gonna have to sit out another year
Yeah,
before
I
he
don't think he's gonna sit out. I think I
plays.
remember him saying he's gonna play, but I mean, like we said, OTAs again are not mandatory, and with him not having signed the franchise tag, yeah, I think he has up to like the start of training camp to sign. So I mean, he
Well,
doesn't
nah,
have.
he can sign it up until like the week 8 or something like that and play.
Oh, that's right, that's right. No, no, you're right, you're right. Oh, well, shoot,
But the difference is he can't be fined because he's not under contract.
contract,
So I
right?
think
Yeah,
if he signs before week 8, then he can still play, the season. But man, somebody better get in that young boy's ear. And I'm not just saying this from a Bengals fan because I'm sports over everything. It's sports and then my teams.
hmm
From a man to man standpoint, somebody needs to get in that young fella's ear and be like, "Yo, look, play, get the franchise tag, get the money." You know what I'm saying? You're still young, you're still good. As long as you don't get a career ending injury, if you twist your ankle and you miss 4 or 5 weeks, that's not gonna take away from your potential payday. Like somebody needs to let him know that, dude, go ahead and get that. I think the franchise tag is like $21 million.
yeah. I think yeah,
Get
22
that.
or something like that. Yeah, you're right.
Because I mean, you're just dealing with idiots. Like the Bengals are idiots. So like you can't out stubborn Mike Brown. It's not gonna work. You can't do it, and it's like you can't even really say, "Oh, I'm a, I'm a, outstand at the front office." Like we don't have a front office, so there's nobody that you can even like
Really
spite.
point the finger at right,
Right?
or yeah, be mad at.
We don't have a front office, so it's just like you can't just put your foot down. It's just gonna be down, and you just gonna be out of money. Like that's just the way the Bengals work. Like you can't make them show their cards. They're just not gonna. Or really the opposite. The cards are already shown. They're not gonna give in to what you want. Like we won't even trade trash people that request trades. We just there's just nobody working for the Bengals to do it. Like so, so hopefully somebody fill him in and let him know. But if I was him, I would go ahead and get that money. Uh,
Mhm.
I mean, I don't. They're not going to trade you. We
Yeah,
rather go without than to trade him.
and I don't think he won't play or he won't eventually sign the tag. But ultimately, you do have to look at it as protecting yourself. Like, what if I do go to OTAs and pull a hammy or ACL,
Right,
something like that crazy? Like, now that does affect my payday. And then chances are y'all going to cut me next year.
right.
You know what I mean? You're not going to tag me again for what?
No, they probably will. Like, you're
I'm
not
just
doing a normal franchise. The
right,
Bengals,
but I'm just saying, like what normally happens in sports, and if Bengals if are bad at their front office as you say they are, then who would expect them to even do what other teams would possibly do in that situation and franchise him again? They
right.
probably be like, hey, look, we're gonna cut ties with him. He requested a trade. He was making this noise last year. He got hurt. He wasn't even productive for us this year.
He did
So
nothing last year.
that's I mean, I'm just saying, I'm talking about like this year if he was to get hurt and say he missed the
Right.
season. They're gonna say, okay, well, he made all this noise last year. We franchise tagged him. He signed it. He got hurt, in training camp or mini camp or in the summer. We didn't get anything out of him. So why franchise tag him again, bring him back? You know what I mean? With the possibility of him making noise again, either that year or the year after. Let him go. Let him be in free agents. We'll stick it to him by watching another team give him a 1 year prove it deal after coming back from an injury and go that route. You know what I mean? Make him kind of go the hard route versus, you know, him trying to, like you said, kind of give in to what the organization wants
Right.
or take less money than he could probably get on the open market for him protecting himself. I believe, hey, look, you know, if it was me, I would I wouldn't come back until week 1. The playbook hasn't changed. You know what I mean? I know what to do. You know what I mean? I've been in this system long enough that I know what to do. I don't think I need to be at mini camp or really training camp unless there's some significant changes.
That's how
And
you getting hurt, bro. You gotta come.
but it happens both ways. People get hurt at training camp, all these things. I'm just thinking about the potential of protecting yourself for, you know what I mean, at least this season as much as possible.
Yeah, I don't really believe in that philosophy. Really, I believe that. I mean, if you stay away from the team, then you should probably stay away from the team. But I mean, this all comes back to like, because realistically, we talked about this before. I don't think it's that the Bengals don't want to sign him. It's just the fact that there's no. I think the lack of communication is what's driving him crazy because like everybody knows that we can't have those two wide receivers. You just can't. You can't pay to. I feel like
Unless one of them is just openly willingly to take significantly less money,
yeah, like
and
you
it would
can
probably
Higgins.
be it would have to be Chase because I don't think Higgins is going to get 30 anywhere, but maybe
I don't
you
know
think
what
Higgins is going to get 30?
the max is gonna go up. I think he's gonna get. He would. I don't even know if the NFL has a max. They're in their contract. So, but yeah, I think somebody would pay him top dollar. Cause I mean, he's a number one receiver. Like I think he'd get whatever that number one receiver money is. I think somebody would pay him that.
As traditionally being a number two, and you just said that he didn't do anything for y'all last year.
Yeah, I still think
So
people
you
should.
still give him? I'm just saying you still give him 30
Oh,
million. So you
I'm
give?
not.
No, I'm not saying you. I'm saying you as in.
I say
I'm
do
just saying
one of these
somebody.
teams.
I'm
Yeah,
saying somebody in the NFL. You look at Justin Jefferson getting what 35.
I don't know
You,
what he got. I don't know
I'm
if he.
just saying. So somebody. I mean, I'm just saying. I think him and Tyreek is the only $30 million receivers right now, like per year. So you look at those two, and then you move Higgins into there, and after next year you're gonna move Chase into there. Like I just
I
don't.
wouldn't.
No, I'm just saying. I don't see a team doing that, especially when they look at production. You can't really even argue that.
I see a team paying.
I look at T Higgins not even being able to argue that. Not even his best year isn't better than a Chase or up there with Hill or Jefferson. So it's like, yeah, we probably give you
I mean,
27 a
look at all.
year
Look at
somewhere
all.
right now.
It seems like your argument is usually the argument that I'm having because I feel the
Well,
same way about some of the guys who did get the bread. Some of the guys that did get the bread ain't really had no off the chart seasons, but
right,
they're
but you have to. But see, their bread is shortened. They're like 3 years. Like they're not getting like Jefferson. They're not getting a 5 year like
I see
Jefferson or
somebody
like
giving. I can see somebody giving T Higgins a 3-year, $90 million contract, 85, 90. I can
Yeah,
see that.
that's what I'm saying. They may get it shortened, but they're not. He's not getting one of those number one receiver deals. When you get them, you're giving them 5 years.
Well, I
Most of
don't
them.
know if it's like I don't know if their contracts are like the NBA. I don't know if other teams can offer you as much as your team can. I don't know if that's a thing in NFL or
No,
not.
no, not in the NFL.
But
They can offer whatever they want. They can offer more. It doesn't matter. Like they can outbid the home team.
oh well, yeah, I see him getting just like every other situation. I don't think half the niggas that's getting 30, 40, $50 million deserve it, but just add him into that pot. So I think somebody would do it. I definitely think
Yeah,
somebody would do it.
I'm,
Scouts, team representative, GMs, they see him as a number one. And I mean, can't nobody say no until, man, we suck. Golly. Can't nobody really say no until they see him as in a number one spot. But I mean,
yeah.
he hooped in the Super Bowl. I mean, he didn't do nothing crazy, but now he
But
had a
that's
good
what
Super Bowl
two
before.
years ago, 3 years ago now.
I mean, but he was injured last year. So I mean,
Yeah.
I'm not talking through me. I'm talking through them, like how
Yeah.
he was injured last year. So I still think teams think highly of T Higgins. Like,
I feel like this. He would have to really show out this year, like really show out. Like
but how if he's not the number one receiver?
no, but I'm just
You got to
but
take that into consideration too. If they say I see number one talent in this guy, but he's not the number one guy, so he's not going to get number one balls, pause. He's not going to get number one touches. He's not going to get number one looks. He's not going to get number one opportunities. They can still factor in him being a number two, but having that number one potential. Oh, he's going to be a number one for us.
well usually I'm just saying, usually number ones get paid after being number ones. They get number one money after proving they're number one. So that's why I say another thing with him, he probably won't get into that 30 range. He may be a little north of 25, and it may be a shorter deal. It may even be 2 years and say, hey, look, after 1 year, if you proved us you're number one this year, then hey, look, we'll extend you on the back end 3 more years into that upper range and give you more guaranteed.
All right.
I mean, I'm just saying that's just normally how it
You don't
works.
even like. All right.
I don't see him just breaking the mold, like never
They
being in
all
that
subject,
position,
like,
and this
do I
being
think
his real
do I think
first
he's gonna be
contract.
offered the highest paid? No, but I mean, some of these guys are. You never know. Like at
Yeah,
one
but
point,
but most
Tyrese Halliburton was the highest paid player in NBA history. Michael Conley at one time was the highest paid player in NBA history. So you can't put you. I don't see how you can put a what's gonna happen or what's not gonna happen. Like we don't know.
no, I'm not saying. I'm just saying most. I'm just going off of history and what has happened. That's all I'm going off of. I'm not saying what will, what won't either. I'm just saying, hey, look, how this normally has went is that's all I'm saying. Normally, that's how it goes. Like when you, especially when you're going into your first contract, if you haven't been a number one, it's very rarely that you get number one money. Like Chase, like if Chase got drafted, number one overall, and he wasn't showing that he was a number one, like we wouldn't be talking about number one money for him. You know what I mean? Like that's just how it goes. Higgins wasn't
So,
drafted as a number one,
so
but
Daniel Jones showed that he was worth $40 million
the
before they
he,
paid him $40 million.
but there's no other. He took them to the playoffs, and they had no other choice. There was no other
You didn't
quarterbacks
answer
out
my
there.
question. You didn't answer my question. Did he show that he was a $40 million player before they paid him $40 million this season?
Yes.
All right, bro. Okay. All right. You're the only person that believes that. You're literally the only person that
So
believes
wait
it.
a minute. Wait a minute. Wait a minute. He okay. So let's have this conversation again. So Daniel Jones took the Giants to the playoffs, which they hadn't been there in a while. Wait a minute. He won a playoff game. That's more than we can say for a lot of $40 million quarterbacks currently.
But you're not taking everything into consideration. Do you watch him play? Do you
He,
watch him
I'm saying,
play? Do you
yes,
watch
I'm
his
saying,
production?
okay, I'm
Just
saying,
because a team
go ahead.
just because of, hold on. Just because one guy's team wins and his production is down here doesn't make him better than a guy whose production is up here and his team sucks. Like
Okay then.
man, where
Okay,
you
okay then. Okay then. So let's compare him to a quarterback in his division. Let's look at Dak Prescott. Paid more than him.
He's a Dak
Wait a
Prescott
minute. Wait a bit. Wait a minute.
Daniel
I'm
Jones.
gonna put your logic. I'm gonna put your logic right out there. I'm gonna
All right,
use your
man.
same logic.
We be
You
having the
look. You look
weirdest
at.
conversations,
Okay.
bro.
You look at Dak Prescott with a better team, gets to the playoffs and can't win a playoff game. So we're talking about Daniel
He's won
Jones.
a playoff
So I'm
game
just.
before.
Okay.
And so
Okay.
Dak Prescott was giving up all them points on defense. Dak Prescott was getting murdered by Jordan Love on defense.
Okay.
That
So
blows a hole in your entire argument, Vernon.
no.
He
Okay
wasn't.
then.
They were
Yeah.
getting sprayed on defense, bro. They had safeties playing linebackers. They couldn't stop the run. Did you watch the game, or are you just looking at the end?
You're just okay. So you're just talking about one game. We're
talking about
Daniel Jones got. Wait a minute. Daniel Jones got this money 2 years ago.
Yeah.
Oh, we're talking
And
about
he's
at.
never
I'm talking
been
about.
good.
I'm talking about at that time. You said when they paid him, was he worth it at that time? And I'm
Yeah.
telling you, okay.
He's
So
never been worth anything.
I'm telling you, at that time,
No, he wasn't.
at that
No, he
time,
wasn't.
the
No, he
Giants didn't have. There was no quarterbacks out there to say, hey, look, we're not going to pay him. We can go get a guy who's better. After this man, luckily, got them.
And that's where we differ.
Because wait a minute,
I'm not gonna just give a guy
Can I
$150
finish?
million
Can I finish? I can't finish.
because there ain't no other options. What
Can
the
I
hell
finish?
kind of
Can
strategy
I
is that?
can I finish?
Bro,
Can I
we've
finish?
had these same kind of conversations.
But I let you talk
Go
through
ahead,
these same conversations.
Go ahead. You
All
said I
I'm-
know what you're gonna say because we've had it.
okay,
Go ahead.
and I know what you're gonna say, and I still let you say it.
Go ahead, bro.
All I'm saying is this. Again, it happens all the time in the NFL. We could go number of teams who pay quarterbacks who haven't proven themselves because at that point they're the very best option, and it doesn't take much improvement in order for quarterbacks to get a big contract. You can look at Kyler Murray, not big leaps, haven't won a playoff game, haven't done anything, but win one or two more games every year, he got a big contract. Dak Prescott, same thing, very good team, very increment. Better. He getting better and better every year. Very little success as far as winning because that's what we rate teams on, and that falls on the quarterback most of the time. Most of the time. Okay, cool. We get Brady. That's why when you talk Super Bowls, people talk quarterbacks. They don't talk about defenses most of the time. That's why. So when it comes down to what? Hold on. Let me finish. When we're talking quarterbacks. Just like that's why quarterbacks move around, and that's why they're such a hot commodity. And when you find one that can deliver somewhat far as winning, because you look at it again, you always equate quarterbacks with winning. If they're not winning, they're gone. It doesn't matter about the talent. You see about that in Chicago. You look at Chicago, they had a great defense towards the end of the season. They started playing better, and then boom, Justin Fields is gone. No reason for that. No reason for that because they're just saying, okay, he's the problem. Not, the receivers or the offensive line is the problem. They don't get rid of a whole offensive line. They get rid of a quarterback. It happens all the time. You look at Tua. Watch what Tua gets. Watch what Tua gets. Look at, same thing with Lawrence. Same thing with Herbert. The same thing we come on here and say all the time. Who's worth what? We're always talking about that. When we're talking about that, it usually falls on the quarterbacks. And receivers are a dependent position. So when you talk about their money different because, hey, when you talk about targets, the same thing you said about Higgins. Fine, you feel like he's a number one somewhere else. You can't prove it until he gets the balls. But when you find a quarterback who can lead you to the playoffs, because that's the first thing in the steps of moving forward as a franchise and being better, or to prove that you're moving in the right direction, or have somebody who's comparable to play the quarterback's position is, hey, can he win the division or at least get you to the playoffs in the wild card? And to do that and win a playoff game at that moment. And Daniel Jones is only in his second year. After that second year, it's like, okay, well, maybe we do have some. We can only pay him on the potential. He got better and he made our team better, and we moved forward as a team that year. So when Daniel go in there to talk about his contract, he can say, hey, look, I did this, and I got us here. That's better than what the other guys have been doing. So that's how that conversation goes. It's not about, just the icon. Oh, was he great every single game? No, nobody's great every single game. But watch what Purdy is about to do. Watch about all these guys. You get to the Super Bowl, and what? Is he horrible because he been to a Super Bowl and lost, been to an NFC championship and lost, or got hurt in the NFC championship. Do we hold that against them? Like, there's so many things that goes into that. But ultimately, winning in football really comes down to quarterback play. And it's been proven across the league.
You ready for me to talk?
Absolutely.
All right. 2019, Daniel Jones had his best season. He had 24 touchdowns and 12 picks, freshman, rookie season. The
Okay.
next season, 2020, 11 touchdowns, 10 picks.
Okay.
2021, 10 touchdowns, 7 picks.
Okay.
And he's playing these games. 2022, 15 touchdowns, 5 picks. And then he got hurt in 2023, two touchdowns, 6 picks. There's no way in hell I'm about to listen to anybody tell me he was worth that much money. If you ask the Giants if they regret paying him that money, they'll tell you what you need to. So I'm not at this point. I'm not even about to go back and forth about.
Is he still on the roster?
Bro, he got a contract already.
Okay, so at any time you could, if he's that bad, and we've seen this before. If he's that bad, you've seen teams cut players and cut bait.
How many times have you seen that? Dude,
look at
next topic, bro.
Look at the Broncos. So the Broncos with Russell Wilson. So they ate $40 million to get rid of this guy.
Topic, man, what's the next topic, dog?
You talk about do I watch? Do you see what goes on in
football? Yeah, bro.
Do you see what goes on in football?
You're arguing loony stuff, bro. And even that situation, that was like the first time that shit's ever happened in the history of the game.
No, it didn't. It happened with.
I said like. I didn't say that was the only time, but that's rare.
But within,
if they would have cut him, they owed him more than $40 million. He just signed that contract before last season, I think.
No, he signed it 2 years ago.
They didn't just owe him $40 million if they would have cut him before the season. Like they owe him 40 for last. They owed him 40 last season. And they owe him 40 again. So why would they cut him before last season and he just signed it? That's not the same as Russell Wilson.
So the same, like I said, same thing with Russell Wilson. Same thing with Ryan in Atlanta. Same thing with Aaron Rodgers in Green Bay. So we're talking about recent. This is within 4 years. This is what's been happening. Teams have been cutting bait with quarterbacks that they believe they cannot provide anymore. Same thing.
Bro,
the exact same thing.
Next topic.
And all those quarterbacks would be better than Daniel Jones. I would guess you would agree with that, if nothing else.
Next topic, please.
Next topic.
What we got?
We got NBA. We're going to talk a little bit about the Eastern Conference Finals. The Boston sweeps the Pacers 4-0. Are you impressed with the Celtics?
I mean, not really. I feel like it should have been. They've been pretty much underachieving. I mean, I think the win should have been a little bit more. The win should have been a little bit more convincing. They could have been. But I mean, the Pacers weren't no slouches. Celtics are injured too. Missing Porzingis is a big deal. I don't think people are making it enough of a deal because of the talent that the Celtics still have. But I mean, they were missing Porzingis, but I still think that they should have done more. But I mean, they got the job done. So they're what, 12-2 so far in postseason. I mean, you can't really be mad at it. They're not doing it how we want it to be done or how we think. And I say we as just in society thinks that it should be done. But I mean, they're getting the job done. So their goal was to win. They won. They're in the finals. I mean, it's not really much that I can really say about it.
Yeah, I don't know. I just look at their regular season record, and you just, like you said, a lot of people had them penciled in to go to the finals anyway. But they only had one blowout against the Pacers. I think they was trading blowouts with the Cavs.
Mm-hmm.
So they really, like you said, I mean, when you look at them and your expectations of what you think they should be compared to like their record and how they've been really playing all year, which has been pretty dominant, you're like, and they struggle with the Pacers, and 2 of those games without their best player too. So, and it still came down to, a couple possessions. We got Justin joining us right now, man. What's up, man?
Yo,
what's going on, y'all?
Nothing much. We were just talking about NFL OTAs. You had anything you want to add to that? Any teams you really been keeping an eye on? We was talking about the Bengals and Higgins situation and contracts and all that stuff.
Oh,
You
No,
just missed. I mean, you just missed it. I know you put something in the chat about it, but you like
yeah.
just missed. We
No,
were
I
just
mean
hit.
it's still early, man. I just that was one of the situations, but I mean to be honest, it's not surprising. I mean, Jamar can sit out as much as he wants. It ain't gonna matter. I mean, he's still under their control for like 2 more years. So,
Mm-hmm.
I, I mean that kind of stuff. I mean, probably the one thing I guess I'm semi interested in is the Pittsburgh situation, just to see who ends up winning that quarterback situation.
Oh yeah,
You know what I mean? So like some of those competitions, I'm curious to see like is New England gonna be dumb enough to start Drake May? Like, are is JJ McCarthy gonna start over Sam Darnold? Like Sam Darnold gets man,
Man,
he gets the short end of the stick, and Sam Darnold ain't bad, man. Like people act like he's trash. He's not trash,
he's
man.
definitely
Like,
not bad.
you know what I mean? Like, so like I'd be
Not
shocked
as
if
bad, I should
yeah,
say.
like
There's
he's
a
not as
lot of
bad as what
guys.
people
Yeah.
make him out to be. You know what I'm saying? So like, some of those things, man, I'm kind of interested in. And then, you know, I hate to even say it, but I'm interested to see what Lamar looks like in the second year of this offense to see what they can put together. Plus, he came in a little bit lighter to get a little bit of that shiftiness back because he
Mm-hmm.
looked a little sluggish the last year or two. So just curious to see, what all that starts to be, how that comes together, man. So excited for it.
Yeah, hopefully, the offense evolves, especially most of the time with the offensive coordinators, like they first year, I mean, they're really just implementing the basics of their offensive plan, and then you kind of build on it year after year.
Yep.
So
Yep.
hopefully it does, especially like you said with Derrick Henry now, like that thing should at least move up another notch, at least in the running game. They should be
Yeah.
able to be a
Yeah.
lot more creative
Shoot,
and
and
a
even
lighter
interested
Lamar.
in your Colts,
Right?
honestly,
Yeah, me
to
too.
see
I
what
mean,
AR
yeah.
looks like. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
Yeah, hopefully we get a full season out of him, and then him and JT together, like
Yep.
from the jump,
Yep.
and mini camps and training camps, and yeah, hopefully growing that offense to the next level. Um,
Yeah. Hey,
now
can I say something crazy? I like to do
you
this
always
sometimes.
do.
Hey,
Yes.
is this crazy to say? Like for real, for real? Trevor Lawrence might be the third best quarterback in that division.
Yeah. Yeah. It could be
behind who?
CJ
CJ.
and AR.
There's no way. Yeah, all
No.
right. I'll give you CJ. There's no way in hell AR is gonna be better than Trevor Lawrence.
Okay.
I don't. Bro, hell no,
Okay.
no, not even close. But hey, that's just my prediction. I mean,
Yeah.
we saw the college resumes. We've seen enough film to kind of be able to. I think AR is going to be the type that's going to defend, rely heavily on the defense and the run game, which can work. We've seen this shit work. So I'm not
Mhm.
saying that the Colts they'll have no shot at winning. Like we've seen it work. I just can't see him being the type of quarterback that Trevor Lawrence is. But I've been wrong before. I'm gonna be wrong some more. But damn, that rhyme, and I'm about to coin that. That's about to be my shit. It's like, bro,
You
I have
say it all the time.
but I'm definitely one of them to say, bro, I've been wrong. Like I've been wrong.
Yeah.
I've been wrong,
I mean, we
We
all
all
have.
have.
and I'm gonna be wrong some more.
We
I've
Yeah.
been
all
wrong
have.
before, and I'm gonna be wrong some more.
But
So
that's
that's just
that's
my
what makes the
opinion.
conversation worth it, though. I
Yeah,
mean,
Yeah.
to
I
put your
just
opinion
I
out
can't
there
see it.
and see where it goes. I mean,
Oh
who
Yeah,
yeah.
knows what's gonna happen this season?
And really, what sparked it though, I guess, put some context in it. I was just thinking about it earlier, and I was like, not saying that Trevor was. Just my thought was,
hmm
we only saw AR for 4 games, and I'll be honest, at times he looked really good. It
yeah,
seems like this offense is really going to fit his skill set more than anything. So
yeah.
I was just wondering. I said, man, could it end up being that the end of this season we say Trevor Lawrence was the third best quarterback in that division?
That would be
You know what
tough.
I'm saying? Which is tough, but I don't I'll say this. Am I saying that's the case? No. But am I saying it's something that I can't see? No. I could see it because Trevor's had a lot of up and down moments. That's the thing. Yeah, in Jacksonville. Like even last year, I think he threw like 14 picks. So
Yeah,
some of it is like he got to clean it up and he got to show me because he has weapons there. You know what I'm saying? Like he has weapons.
yeah.
So his production should be better than what I've seen from him the last 2 years. So I'm just looking to see where he takes that jump. Now I give him a pass because Urban Meyer jacked him up bad,
He jacked
man.
one
So
year. He
yeah,
jacked one year.
yeah. But I mean that set him back. You know what I mean? So like now what is this like his third year with I think with Doug Peterson or something. So I'm
Uh,
just curious to see what that's
Second.
gonna look
This
like.
is second year.
yeah. This would be good. Well, this
Third.
is
This would
the
be the
second.
third
Well,
year.
that will start. Yeah, yeah. He only had. I mean, he's only had 2 years with him. So this year,
Yeah,
this
this would
will
be
be
the
going
third year.
into the third. Yeah,
Mhm.
but I mean, I mean,
Yeah.
who knows? And then you look
Well,
at
actually, second and a half, I think, because I think Urban got fired halfway through that season, right? Because
Mm-mm.
I
uh-uh.
know the year that Urban got fired was the year that we went to the Super Bowl. So it's been 2 years after that. So now this is his third and a half season.
Yeah,
It,
that's yeah.
yeah, this will be
This
his
is going
third
into his
full season.
third. Yeah,
Yeah, but he
yeah.
had like half a season in that 21
Yeah,
season.
I'm saying just
Oh,
with
yeah,
Doug Peterson. Yep,
yeah,
yep,
yeah. It'd be third full season, about three
yep.
and a half ago. So
Yeah, but
I mean,
then
it's
I mean,
definitely. I feel like he's definitely one of them guys that we want to see more from. But
Hmm.
I think he's proven that. I think the reason why we want more from him is because he's proven that he can be more. I think
Hmm.
he's in that
yeah,
that
you've seen
Justin
moments where
Herbert,
he's
that
really
Justin Herbert basket to me,
Yep,
at
yep.
least.
That's what I
Like
was going to say. He's in the
we've
Justin Herbert
seen
basket.
we've
Yep.
seen the potential in you. We just gotta get it out. Like
that
and
basket.
you know
Yep.
right.
That basket's full. Justin Herbert is filled that basket up.
The
It's
boy
so
can play
much potential in
football.
that basket that he just won't hold on to.
He can play football. Like
He
I'm
never
not gonna knock
did.
that.
Yeah.
I mean, I can
You
see
ain't
if he had
wrong.
like
No,
if
we
he
not.
had like
I'm not
Mariota
arguing
seasons
that.
or some shit. Like
Nope. Mm-mm.
Yeah, you ain't wrong.
He just had Mariota results, just not.
you
Wow.
see, that's what
Wow.
I'm saying. Like that's a team. If you look at his numbers and compare those to Mariota, bro, it's like night and day. Like let's stop the crap, bro. Like that. No, he has not had any Mariota like performances.
I said results. I didn't
I
say
don't even
performances.
what results? Like personal results or team results? Because they're not the same.
Well,
Has Mariota had a 5,000 yard season? Has Mariota even had a 2,500 yard season?
no, but as far as
Bro,
winning
results
games,
aren't
it's
the same,
about the
bro.
same.
Nah, bro. No, it's not. All right.
Success, yes,
Nah,
about the same.
no, no. Sorry, not
Okay,
going.
that's cool. Uh, but going back to the quarterbacks in the AFC South, looking at Will Levis probably has one of the best rosters. I mean, offensively.
Will Levis is not that.
I know.
I'm
I'm just
not worried
saying.
about that.
I'm not saying. I'm
I
not
keep
talking
sleeping
about
on
him.
who they. Y'all had to
But
hit
I'm
me.
talking about with him having DeAndre Hopkins
Hmm.
and
Calvin Ridley.
Kevin Ridley on the other side. Those
You
are
brought that team.
two
They
very good
brought that whole
receivers.
team.
Yep.
They
Tyler
short
Boyd.
Tyler Boyd. They shored up the offensive line. You know what I mean?
Improved. I wouldn't say
That's what
short
I,
up.
I mean. I believe it would be better than it was last year.
Yeah. 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 For
And
sure.
then I
JC
mean,
Latham. Hmm.
exactly. And then like having Pollard in the backfield, he's shown that with another decent running back there, he can be productive. So, um, I think with them getting ready rid of Derrick Henry, showing that they're not going to heavily rely on the running game like that. So I don't think Pollard will be ran into the ground kind of how he was that last year in Dallas. So I
I
mean,
always said he was never a bell cow, though. That's why I don't
no,
understand
no,
about
no,
Dallas.
definitely,
You know
yeah,
what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
that was just
And
dumb on their
Dallas knew
part.
that too.
Yeah, like that was just dumb on their part. But yeah, um, interesting then. But yeah, I'm not a believer in Will Levis, so I'll be honest
Me
with you. It's
neither.
like,
Me
it's
neither. But
like,
I'm just saying, like
eh,
with those weapons, it's like he's shown a little bit last year that he can at least push the ball down the field. You know what I mean?
yeah,
Things like that. So you have the tools to do that. You know what I
hmm
mean? With a little
you
better
definitely do.
offensive line
Hmm.
and two receivers who can get vertical.
Hmm.
I don't see them not having some big plays. So when we're
No,
just talking
I'm
about
with you
quarterback
there.
play
Yeah,
and
I'm with you
probably
there.
competing for you to see that shuffle of those four, definitely say he's probably the lowest man on the totem pole.
Yeah,
But again,
yeah,
we probably seen about as much out of him as we have out of AR. So,
true, true, true.
but yeah, no, we talking about the pay. Are you impressed with Boston? That's what our question was. We was talking about the East real quick.
No, no,
When you came in, that's the same
no.
thing Jared was saying too. Is like they didn't really dominate the playoffs as they did the regular season, which who really does? But I mean, only two blowouts and to lose one to Cleveland. Like you said, I think they're 12-2 in the playoffs, which
Yeah.
is fantastic. But all those games with the Pacers, one or two turnovers in the last minute and a half could have went the other way.
Pacers can't close nobody out, so I'm not
I
impressed by
agree.
that. They'll lose a game. You give them opportunity, they're gonna lose it. Because that's just what they do. And I'll be honest with you, I think more so I'm not impressed because Boston's really showing you where they're weak at. I mean, they really have shown you the flaws of their team.
Mhm.
I just don't think they played anyone who, from a consistency standpoint, can expose it. But I'll say that I'm gonna be honest.
For 4 quarters.
Dallas looks like they might end up sweeping Minnesota. Long and short, I'll say this: I think Dallas will win that series. I don't think Boston is going to be able to do what they did so far in the Eastern Conference against Dallas. I'll say it that way. I think
No,
Dallas is going
Fair
to
enough.
present a
yeah, I
totally
agree with
different animal than what they've seen, and I don't think they're going to be ready for it. And then people are going to go back, and my man Jared said this, and the conversation's going to come up after this happens. Tatum, Brown. What are we really talking about? Is Jason Tatum really that guy?
man. For him to not win, Eastern Conference MVP, man, that's like
That tells you something, though.
A lot of people say, a lot of people are quick to throw out, "Oh, this is gonna hurt your legacy," or "This is gonna hurt this and that." Man, for that to be your team and you're what is Jason Tatum 26, 27? I know
Yeah, it's like
he's
7 years in, I think.
like a year or two older than Brown, right or wrong. I'm not sure. I
I
think
think
he's
Brown is a year older than him.
Older, yeah. I think it's the other
okay.
way. Yep, I think
Okay,
Brown's
yeah.
1 year,
For that to
like
be his
26
So
and
I think
team,
it's
27.
25 and 26, I believe. I think
for that to
Tatum's
be your
25 and he's
team
26.
and you're still in your prime, you can't let nobody win MVP or nothing.
Yeah,
Nothing. Like you know how bad it would have been if somebody had a won Finals MVP the year LeBron won his championships, or well Kobe don't really count. 'Cause, I mean Shaq, that's kind of like it
yeah,
ain't too
different.
bad.
That's
But if you
different.
look at
That's a
some of
different
these,
conversation.
yeah, you look
Yeah.
at some of these other guys, man, you can't not win. You know, come on, man.
I mean, when Dirk
That
won it or
that
when
kind of
Wade won it, like,
hurt your
yeah,
legacy. Now, if you 36, your young gun might come in, go off. He might win, player of the year or whatever
Yeah,
MVP of the
most improved or something
yeah
like that. Yeah.
MVP of the Western Conference Finals. I mean, I know that that's something new that hasn't been around forever. I think this is like
Right.
year 3 or something like that. But yeah, that kind of stuff does hurt legacy. So I honestly think that hurt Jason Tatum's legacy. Seeing Jalen Brown hold that trophy up at the end of the game the night before. So well last night. So hey, I think a lot of people throw around hurting legacy, for maybe like team accomplishments and stuff like that. But like that kind of stuff, that can't happen, man.
And if you look at it, like Brown really closed out the last 2 games.
Yeah,
Like he was the one down the stretch in the fourth quarter, hitting the big shots, like
that stuff.
applying the pressure on the Pacers. Like,
That stuff speaks. Like that kind of stuff tells a story. Now,
hmm
team wins or losses don't tell the story for me. But
mm-mm,
when we're talking
not all
about
the time.
a personal comparison, those personal achievements, they that's what speaks to me. So.
No,
Uh,
I agree with that. I agree with that.
So that was kind of tough, but hopefully, if they win the finals, maybe he can get that Finals MVP. That's gonna be the
yeah,
same thing with Luca. I think if Dallas wins the Western Conference Finals and they give it, which he's on, even if Luca stinks this game, I think he's on pace to still get the Western Conference
Yeah.
Final MVP. But say they go to the finals and Dallas wins and Kyrie gets
Kyrie
it,
gets a Finals MVP,
that's
then it's like,
gonna kind of shake some things up, but. I
yeah,
mean, it's
I
only
agree with that.
they're all still way more paid than I am. So who am I?
So speaking about the
We
Mavs
just
and
have a conversation.
Timberwolves,
Like,
that game just started about 13
yep.
minutes ago.
yeah,
Um, so they got Dallas favored. They 1.5.
man, I
So
want to see the series so bad, man.
so question. I'm gonna start with a different one. Did Ant give Kyrie extra motivation?
Nah, I
Well,
don't
what
think.
he said as far as talking about he was gonna guard him and kind of, putting that pressure on
Unless that
himself.
was something said that I didn't hear. I just heard him say, I actually I
Like,
took
he
it
said,
as
"I
him.
got Kyrie." Like,
Yeah, and it ain't like Kyrie's been going off for 40. Like he's
no,
been Kyrie. He's been good. Like so, I wouldn't say that, but yeah,
If
I would say no. But
okay.
I almost took it as a sign of respect,
yeah,
if you
that's
ask me.
exactly
That's
how
what
I
I was
feel.
Like,
thinking too. But then, like, I kind of
He
thought
wasn't
about,
like I'm gonna lock
man.
him up, like I'm gonna put the cuffs on him. He was just like,
yeah, no,
I got him, and I can't wait to see what he's gonna do, and that's kind of how I took it.
Okay.
But yeah,
And Justin, this is what you wonder, man. Is it time to trade Towns? You think so?
man,
man, I just be honest, he just doesn't show up when they need him to. Like, that's my problem. Like, you look at everybody else on the roster and they're doing what they're supposed to, but Cat ain't. Like, and it's like when he disappears, he's disappearing. I mean, he's not rebounding. He's not. I mean, he's not even defending at a high level. He's not scoring. So it's like he's non-existent. You know what I mean? And so it's like I think Towns is 29 if I'm not mistaken.
He is.
I don't. I'm gonna say this. I think because of his skill set, he still has a really high value in the league, and he's not old. Um, I think you have to consider doing that. I think you have to think about it at the very least to see what you can get back.
Yeah, I'm about to say quick. That was gonna be my next question. Like for y'all too, what do you get back? What team do you look at and look at a player on that team and say, okay, maybe for him?
It's crazy because like, what does Minnesota even really need right now?
That's
Like,
what I'm saying. That's my question. I
you
was just wondering.
got a
A
defensive
point
player of the
guard.
year. You
I
got
think a point guard
you don't think Mike
because I
Conley?
like. Oh no, I like Conley, but I think just as Conley's getting older, if you were able to kind of spare him a little bit more as far as that goes, because think about how bad they were when he didn't play.
Yeah, they definitely don't have another ball
They don't
handler
have
out
another ball handler, so they got to get
here.
somebody who can. And I would love to see Mike Conley more in that 6 man role than I would starting. Or it
Mm.
doesn't really matter. I'm being honest. Just a way to preserve him. So if I'm being honest, I actually would maybe even look at now mm, a team like a Detroit who has guards or ball handlers, and they have too many, but they
Or
don't
even
really have a guy.
or like Orlando. They got a ton of guards.
Yeah, problem is I don't think any of their like they're fine with Wendell Carter and Paulo. So I don't think Cat really would be someone they would be interested. And they don't have a guard that like Minnesota would need. But like say for example Minnesota, let's think maybe you can get a Cade Cunningham. You put
Mm.
Cade, who's a ball handler, in a situation in Minnesota. I think that works. I think you put Cat in there next to Jalen Duran, that works because of the skill set. Um,
That
it's
could be.
something like that. I don't know if you want a Jaden Ivey because I don't know if Ivy can really run an offense. You know what I mean? But I guess even a guy like that, you can consider someone who has some potential, who's young, that you can bring in and pair with Ant, but it can take away some of those, help to release some of them ball handling
That's what I'm
duties
about
as
to say.
well
And
and
they
be a
have to
playmaker.
be a potential scoring threat too, especially with the
Oh,
way
for
that
sure, for
with
sure.
with with the way they run pick and rolls with Ant and stuff like, and with Towns not being there, which I think that's what they like, and it helps Ant out a lot.
Hmm.
Again, if they just run that pick and roll with them too, with that pick and pop with Towns because he's such a good 3-point shooter. Uh,
Yeah,
Whoever you bring in at the point has to be an offensive threat because you don't want to bring those extra bodies to Ant on those
yeah,
pick and rolls
and
because
that's why I say
they're not
like
going to respect Rudy, so you can't
no.
really run it the
So
same way.
That's who I would trade. I'm
Rudy,
trading, but I don't even know what you even get back from him. I mean, it's like he won Defensive Player of the Year, but I don't think anybody's scared of him defensively. I don't
here,
think anybody's concerned with Rudy Gobert defensively. Like,
can I say this though? And in his defense, I mean, you already talked about that as far as the Rudy Gobert thing. I say that I've seen him disappear though. He may get. Don't get me wrong. Don't mean he don't give up buckets, but like, what do I expect from him game in game out? Be solid rebounder and try to affect some shots. He does that. He
And that's
does that.
really it.
Like,
but
and that and like I'm not.
that's
I'm
it.
not. I mean, if we're being
To
honest, that's
clog the paint. That's really
clog the
it.
paint. Yeah, like he just got a nice little block in this game. Like I've seen a couple games throughout the playoffs. I know he gets a bad rap, but like it's been for him, it's been 7 of 7, 5 of 5. Like
Just
it's
missed the
not
re.
that
He can't. Like,
you know
he has terrible hands.
his hands aren't great. His hands aren't great. But the other reason why I say it's okay getting rid of Towns because you have Nas Reed, same
I
similar
would
skill
start
set as
Cat.
Cat.
I like Cat and Nas Reed starting over Cat and what's the name?
But then I don't think you have any
Yeah,
physicality
that's
at
what I say.
all.
Then you have nothing coming off the bench. Who produces off
Man,
the pine?
Buddy is not physical to me. Like,
I agree.
I
No,
wish I saw what y'all saw,
I'm
but
not saying Gobert's
I see
like a
nothing from Gobert, like zero. Like, I see
I'll
him maybe get like some weak side blocks. He's not even really that good of a rebounder for as tall as he is. I mean, he's not really heavy, so you think he would be a little bit more agile. I mean, I feel like he moves worse than Shaq moves. Like I don't see. Maybe we gotta watch a game together and we can like point stuff out live. But and I'm not even one of those Gobert haters. I just don't see what everybody else sees. I see a stick man out there that can't catch, that can't finish. I mean, he's 7 foot. He'll get a couple putback slams. I mean, he. I mean, they call him out like, yeah, we want you out here. We're gonna put you in action. We want you to have to make a defensive decision. How is he the defensive player of the year if teams prefer to make him make the play defensively? They want him to make the play defensively and defensive player of the year. It just
I'm, but I think with that also, I mean, there's a lot in that because a lot of teams set the pick and roll for mismatch. You want to try to get a quicker, faster player on a bigger, slower player. Like
I get that.
so they run the pick and roll. Of course, you're gonna try to get a guard on him or
You know,
try to call him out, and you got to respect the shooters.
The guards ain't gonna call Anthony Davis out every single time down the court. They not seeking him out. Luka ain't okay. Yeah, I want to switch because I want Anthony Davis out here guarding.
But you look at Jamal Murray and what he did to Anthony Davis. It was on the switch. Like
I get that, but they're not calling him out every single play. Draymond talked about it. Draymond talked about it on Inside the NBA. He also talked about it on Shaq's podcast. They call when they need an ISO, when they want to go ISO, they call him out every single time. They don't pick on Anthony Davis like that. That's just not something teams do. And I'm not even a big Anthony Davis is the epitome of defense. I'm not even going there with it, but like they don't try to exploit him. They don't try to exploit Draymond. There are some other big guys, 3s, 4s, and 5s that they don't just pick on every single time.
I don't know about the Draymond thing. Draymond has been a liability now for about 2 years.
They don't. I disagree with that. They don't call Dray. They don't want Draymond nowhere near the action, bro.
I'll say this. I've seen Draymond get ISO more in the last 2 years than I have before. Draymond is not who Draymond talks a good game. But in all transparency, I'm gonna say this right now.
I'm not even about to argue with that. Like
I can't stand Draymond. I don't like his antics, his game, like him. So, like, I'll be honest with you, so maybe biased. I'll say this. I understand what you're saying, but I also think that I don't know, Vern. Maybe you tell me if I'm crazy. I also think that Gobert gets a bad rap. He's limited. Let's just be real. He is limited. So yeah, they try to get him on the perimeter because he's a terrible perimeter defender. That's not what they got him there for. But you don't see. I'll say it this way: outside of Joker, I don't see too many big men or where they're like, hey, we're gonna post this guy up 30 times a game against Gobert. That's all I'm saying. Like he's not the game playing game in, game out. He might be for a possession. Hey, let's get him in pick and rolls and then get him out on the perimeter. Yeah. But you don't in his element in the lane, you don't see people picking on Gobert like that. That's all. That's all I'm saying. So and I'm not saying there's always the exception to the rule.
Linky. Like he's a lengthy guy.
He's
like,
long.
And that's I mean but
arm span. So I get that. He's not the easiest to go up against, but I mean to have no bag offensively and then just to be trying to get picked on the defensive side, that says a lot for me. But
I mean, apparently it doesn't work that often. Them picking on him because I mean, look where they are. And if playoffs is really where you get exposed, they haven't really been using that as a crutch then.
Bro, he's been getting cooked. He's been getting cooked.
But he's also been doing enough on the rebound and on defensive end to where he's been effective. Like you said, it's been a couple games where he ain't missed a shot. He's been, 12 and 15, 2 or 3 blocks, a few games throughout these couple series. So, I mean, he hasn't been this super duper liability that everybody's been picking on night in and night out. I don't think that's fully true. There's been moments, and like you said, I agree with everything both of you guys are saying as far as him not being physical, because I know there's been times I've been watching him, I'm like, man, you 2 inches away from the ball, just dunk the ball back. Like, you know what I mean? I'm right there with you. Like, it's been moments where it's like, dude, you get offensive rebound. Like, why are you just you trying to throw it? Like, you're already taller than the defender. Like, you should be literally 2 feet off the ground. Like, you should be able to dunk and move back the other way. Like, nobody's gonna stop you. And I think, like you said, he's just timid around the rim when someone's being physical with him. But as far as on the defensive end of, getting cooked by guards in action, That's gonna happen to a big man 99% of the time. Most of them can't or not fast enough or quick enough on their feet. You got the exceptions. The AD is an exception. He's very athletic,
Correct. He's not the
but
norm.
But
yeah, he's not the norm,
there's two other big guys on their team that aren't getting cooked how he be getting cooked.
right? And
Nas
they're
and
more they're
Mark ain't getting cooked like that.
but they're more athletic. We can say
Hey,
than
that's what I'm
no,
saying.
that's what I'm saying. We
Part
agree
of
with.
being
I agree with
defense
you with that. I
is
agree with
being
Jeff. I'm saying like pulling him out to the perimeter. Yes, he is a liability out there, but that's not what he's there for. But in the paint, I think they're saying when you compare him to most of the other bigs in the league in the paint where he's supposed to be, they've looked like he's defensive player of the year because he doesn't give up much in the paint.
I even like to go with what you're saying. I'll say yeah, Towns and Reed are more athletic, but they don't stand a chance in the paint. If even pay attention to any of these games, and Dallas don't even have like bigs like that. You know, Lively and Gafford aren't like dominant offensive bigs or anything like that.
They
But
lob threat.
but Reed and Cat are not. They're nothing on defense when it comes to that. Like I don't even know how to explain it. But if you
They're
pay
really
attention,
stretch bigs.
yeah, like they don't do anything in the paint for you. Like I'm just being honest with you. They really don't do anything for you in the paint defensively. So Gobert is the only threat they have as far as shot blocking or affecting any kind of shots because Cat and Reed are not that. I mean, they're just not that on the defensive end.
And when you
So
have those more athletic fours and threes, you can put Reed and Towns out there on the perimeter to guard them. Like Rudy Gobert don't really have to be out there. You know what I mean? You got
Mhm.
perimeter defenders who can really guard them out there. And I think that's what really made their defense so elite this year is like knowing that, hey, look, regardless if somebody do happen to blow past us, we do got Gobert on the back end to help at least affect the shot, even if he don't get the block or you know what I mean, whatever. Even like
just
you said, Jared, coming weak side, whatever it is, like you know you have some sort of help down there, and everybody's not super eager to get down there in the paint and try to score on him down there. So I think that's more of a team award that he just excels in that system defensively.
That's I that yeah, I see that. That's cool.
But regardless of all that, and tonight, even if the Wolves win tonight, is this series over? Like, do
So
we still see this just being over?
I don't
There's
see
no,
them winning four straight. Nah.
yeah,
yeah.
man. And that's so disappointing, man. I just knew
Man, I know that's why I was kind of nod my head, like, yeah,
if I
like
knew that this was gonna happen,
I
I
thought
would
there gonna
have
be a
the
fight.
Nuggets won. But I went so hard against the Nuggets because I don't like their little antics. But like,
I'm
damn,
with you
bro,
with that.
I just want to see good basketball more so than anything. Like
That's exactly what I was about to say. I just
Nuggets
want to
had
see
to,
good games.
if the Nuggets had to repeat in order for me to get pleasured by the game of basketball, then that's just what it had to be. I'd rather have seen that than you know, three, four nothing Boston and three nothing, But that's a selfishness in me. Like, I just want to see good ball at the end of the day, and that
But I
ain't really
think
what we
even
do.
in a sweep, if there's four good games, like I believe that Pacers
Yeah, I mean,
series,
I'll take
it was
that.
it was it was at least three really good games. Like came down to the last minute. Like you know what I mean. It wasn't
I
like
get that.
blowout, 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 blowout. Like
Okay, maybe there's good games can make up. Like there's good games in the series, but I think
right.
a good series.
Series. Okay,
I
yeah,
want.
yeah, no,
Like
absolutely.
yeah, that's a good point. There were good games,
Games.
but
It's just not
I
good
want to
series,
see
right?
a good series. Like I want to see a 3-2 or 3-3 or some
Yeah,
shit like
no,
that. A game,
absolutely.
all
Now
of
what?
it. But
And it gives
outside,
us more basketball, which I think we all
yeah,
want. So like when
one
you
one of
just
my
get
close
four and out, yeah,
one of my closest friends is a Mavericks fan, so like out of respect to him, I wanted to see Dallas win. But 6-7 games wouldn't have disappointed me either. But that
yeah.
ain't what we're getting. So, got
Minnesota might be able to pull off too. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
They
But
might be able
I
to.
think it's
I
still
When
doubt
good.
it.
their backs
I think
against
it's
the
the
wall,
point.
they have been
I mean, because you ain't
fighting
got nothing to lose at 3-0, so you going
Yeah,
you gonna throw all kind of stuff out there. You know what I mean? At that,
whatever.
like, because at this point, it don't matter. You know what I mean? Your
Absolutely.
probability of winning the series is, if I had to guess, what, point 0.5 or something crazy.
and
You know what
that's
I'm
and
saying?
that's
Like,
No,
what's
it's
messing with
never.
me.
I
In the
don't think
back
it's
of
never. It's
my
never
mind,
happened.
Yeah, in the back of my mind, I know it's over. So it's just like even if they
Yeah.
win one, they might win. Like they're not winning this series. So
But you'll have a little excitement. Let's say they run 2 off.
oh,
You're
I'm
gonna
gonna
be like,
watch
oh
it.
shoot. Yeah,
Yeah,
well I'm
Yeah,
saying
oh,
that
I'm gonna
game
tune in.
6 that you're gonna be like, oh shoot, if
yeah.
they pull
Everybody gonna
this
be
off, we
tuned
going
in. Yeah,
7. So it's
yeah.
like it can give you some more excitement. Like I ain't gonna say like there's no way to get any excitement out of the series, but they're gonna have to win and go into a game 6 where it's like for me it's a must win for Dallas, even though it's not, but
Oh
it's a
yeah,
must
yeah,
win
yeah,
for
yeah, yeah.
Dallas.
Yeah, yeah,
You
yeah.
know what I'm
They
Where
can
you
get
saying?
it
feel like
to
you're
six.
putting some more
That's
pressure on Dallas.
if
Yeah.
it
Yeah,
goes
yeah.
nah, I still don't know. If it was
Well, that's
3-1, I could say if it goes 7, then Minnesota. But like 4 straight games is
It's
tough.
yeah.
hard.
That's what happened to Boston
That's
last year, I think it was. You
tough.
know, they came back 3 straight on Miami
Yeah, yeah, yup, sure did.
and went to a game 7 and lost game 7 to Miami. So, like, you know, it can happen. Don't get me wrong, teams can win 3 in a row. It's just, even if that happens,
That
I think it
fourth
takes so
one
much out of
is
a team. I
That
can't
fourth
see
one's
you winning
gonna be
that fourth one, man.
crazy.
Yeah, that fourth one's got to be tough.
Unless they can get a couple
Tough.
blowouts to where it ain't
it's kind of demoralizing to the Mavs.
like
Yeah.
guys'
True,
legs
true,
aren't getting
true.
ran. So if they could get a couple blowouts, maybe, and then that, like you said, that game 6 is always a must win for the team that don't have the home court advantage. So now,
Hmm.
if they could get it to a 6, all the pressure would be on Dallas. But
Yeah.
Oh,
now
yeah.
Dallas ain't really got no pressure. Even game 5, if they were to win this game 5, Dallas wouldn't really have a whole bunch of pressure. But that game 6, oh yeah, that would be yeah.
I agree.
Although
I
I do
agree.
think Dallas wants to close them out at home.
Oh, for sure.
Yes.
You
They get
know,
the extra rest too. Yeah,
yeah,
they certainly
Yeah.
want to close this out tonight for sure.
And they need. I mean, they need it.
they do.
They need it.
They do.
Luka and they've been pretty banged up too. I think Lively didn't play tonight, or
No, he's out.
Oh man,
They
that
probably
look
yeah,
gonna take
that's
it.
what I'm
bad.
They
saying.
probably
Yeah,
gonna take it easy for him, man, because you
That
know
look bad.
I don't think it's as bad as what like because I think they said all the reports came back all right. It's
Oh,
just
okay,
more so
cool.
I think being cautious with him, you know, for they said I believe they said he didn't have a concussion, but like you know, with the neck area and all that, like just kind of
you
being
always want to be cautious.
cautious. You want to be cautious with it. So I'm like, I mean, you up 3-0. I wouldn't be tripping
No
on
need to
him
rush him
playing.
back.
Yeah, like take your time because you're gonna need him in the finals. You know what I'm saying?
Gafford
So
and what was it
uh
Kebler?
Bertans. Oh,
Oh,
Max
oh, yeah,
Keebler.
Keebler. I
Yeah,
mean,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
he's been all right in the time he's played. I don't
Hmm.
think it's a
And even what's
huge
the other
drop
dude,
off.
the light skinned dude who used to play Dwight
Wow.
Powell. Yep,
Yeah.
Yeah.
yep. So
So
I mean, they got some bodies to throw in there. You know what I'm saying? So,
and that's all you really need. I mean,
mm.
they wasn't doing much. I mean, like you said, they're more lob threats, him and Gafford more than anything. So
But man, Gafford, man, Lively affected the game quite a bit though, because he's
absolutely.
actually an underrated passer for his size, man, and just he's kind of like I ain't gonna say Gobert, but Gobert in terms of affecting shots, that athleticism, man, is different, you know. So
Yep.
we'll see.
Nah, I agree. I agree. Shoot, man, that's all I had, man. I guess we can jump into final thoughts, man. If
Yeah,
nothing else.
I'll go. Man, this whole Bronny situation is just
Ooh.
man,
That's where you want to go.
like man, I just really wish stuff was just different, bro. Like you hear he turned down like 10 workouts. He's only gonna work
I
out for
heard he was. I heard he removed his stuff from the draft. I thought he wouldn't.
nah.
No,
He's
mm-mm.
very much still in it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
My bad.
He
I
started
got bad
workout.
information there.
Yeah, like Jared said, I heard he turned down workouts now.
Yeah, he turned. I think he had scheduled 12 workouts, and then he ended up turning down 2, saying he only gonna work for the Suns and the Lakers. And I guess
10,
like,
10. Yeah, 10 of them. Yep,
yeah,
yep.
well, I guess when LeBron is your dad, I mean, I get that your situation's gonna be different. I get that, but like, I feel like they're playing into the hate. They're playing
They
into
are.
what people
They're giving them
already.
all the ammunition. Yep,
That's exactly what they're doing, and it's like,
yep,
why,
yep.
why, why? I need the
Just,
James family to have some kind of PR, bro, and I think they do, but I don't know.
but I think when,
Oh,
like you said, when LeBron
man.
James their father, you have. Let's be honest, insider information. Your dad
Yeah,
is right there. Is definitely telling you
you
what's
can't
going
control
on.
some shit. Like,
Like,
fortunately
Mhm.
or unfortunately,
yeah,
he,
like
he got some power. But
so.
it's just
With
like,
that, it's like, do you sit back and act like you don't have no power and play it cool,
yeah,
or
like
I mean, yes, we
that's
would. I
probably what
mean,
I would
yeah,
play it.
But when you know you have the cards, it's like, let's run this Boston because I know I have the cards to run this
But
Boston.
you gotta
I'm
think,
gonna.
of what's that doing to your kid though, bro. Like
Yeah.
you're like Justin said, you're literally loading people's hate guns up. You're giving them more ammunition to hate.
It's
So
gonna
what do
be.
you think the first, if he does get drafted, which looks like he is, if he's turning down workouts, somebody done told him something. So his first opportunity to play, what do you think that environment's gonna be like? And if you let it just naturally happen and took your hands off and just let things just happen how they would, that extra wouldn't, I mean, he's LeBron's son. He's gonna get hate anyway because his
That's what I'm
dad.
about to say.
Mhm.
I'm
His
saying you're gonna
both of them love hate.
you're
But
gonna
I
have
think
that
he's adding to it.
regardless.
Like he's adding. I feel like LeBron is adding to it, and the
Oh,
situation
for
just
sure.
it's
Yeah, for
just
sure.
not. I mean, I'd have rather seen Bronny just go to like some like mid major and kill. Then at least people can say, oh well, at least he killed on some level. So I
Yeah,
mean, he didn't
yeah.
really kill in high school. He certainly didn't kill in college. So it's just like,
He
what
moved.
do?
Like to your point, Jared. It was crazy to me. I'll be honest. It was hearing initially he's not even a draftable player to he's a second rounder to all of a sudden now he's a lock for the first round after having 8 points in their second scrim. Like what?
Right, and
And
now
he's turning
he's
and you're
able to
turning workouts
dictate.
down.
Yeah, and he's able to
Like
dictate where he's going. Like,
yeah, like it's crazy to me. I mean, I get it in terms of like I mean, that's just the nature of how things work. I mean, you got a
right,
Hey, look,
powerful father and all that, but to your point, I think they're just painting additional targets on his back
absolutely,
that he's not going to need. You know what I'm saying? Like
absolutely.
you want to you hear all those kids whose father played in NBA or I want to have my own pad blah blah blah. You're not. This is not going to allow you to do that. This right here is shaping where it's like people are always going to associate you with your daddy, even though that's your daddy, because they're gonna be like, well, you guys made sure you got to LA or to Phoenix or whoever it is. Like, you guys did all this. So if you fail, it'll be like, well, there's no leeway now because they're going to
Right,
say you guys did it to yourself. As opposed to, like
right.
you said, if he just went through the process, he landed somewhere, he struggled or whatever, he's gonna get hated on. We know that, but it's like I think he gets a little bit more leeway because people might actually have a little bit more respect for. Hey, he
Yeah,
went through a grind. You know what I mean?
right.
Like
And he didn't get
that's just
everything
how
handed to
it's.
him. So
Yep,
like,
yep.
yeah,
So
Yeah,
that's
but I mean, I think also we have to look at this. We got to kind of turn the mirror around also and look at the people who are allowing this to happen. Like, there's somebody in these organizations that are saying these things. Like, this ain't. They're not just pulling this out of thin air.
hmm
Somebody is okaying this at a level above LeBron. Like, which seems kind of weird to say, but there is. If they're saying Phoenix and LA, there's somebody in Phoenix that's saying, "Hey,
oh
look,
yeah,
if we get
for
a
sure,
chance, this is what we're doing."
for
yeah,
You
but
know
sure.
that
what I
I think
mean?
that's just conversations that either LeBron or Maverick are having. Like you know what I mean?
Mhm.
Like I don't even. I think that's all that is. That's just
Right.
conversation.
But if you
You
look
know.
at, I mean, let's look at, I hate to say this, but the Eli Manning complex, you know what I mean? When you're in that situation and there's somebody saying that, hey, look, you don't have to do this, you can do this. There's a
hmm
situation where you can, and you're giving right now. And like we know nowadays in sports, players have most of the control. Until they get under contract, they have a lot of control. So right now, to leverage that, leverage your dad, and who wouldn't? Like,
Here,
just imagine if Jordan kids had that leverage back in the day. Imagine if he was, you know what I mean? If that was nowadays and Jordan was social media super, you know what I mean? Of course, he'd be, a million times bigger, even though I don't even know how you say that about Jordan. But like
Yeah,
in this light, you know what I mean? In this age,
I
with
agree
yeah.
what
with
we
that.
have
Social
now,
media,
imagine
yeah,
what
social
his
media,
kids would have been able to do.
shit would be
Here's
nuts.
here's the
It would
thing.
be nuts. Kareem, all these kids, Shaq, like all these kids that come out who would have came out in this era where their parents were still playing and was super dominant.
But Shaq had a kid come out in
No,
this era.
I'm talking
Yeah.
about like
So
if it was closer in age, you know what I mean?
yeah.
Where it was Shaq was like maybe a year removed from the NBA, you know what I mean? Or
Yeah.
you know what
Well,
I
here's
mean?
here's the thing. Like, and I think Jared agrees with me on this. We're not saying it's wrong. We're
Yeah,
just saying it's painting the wrong picture. That's all.
Right,
Like, I think there's
right,
just a different way that they could. Here's the thing. I think they probably
exactly.
could have still
That's
achieved
what
the
I'm
same
saying.
thing, but just handled it
just
differently.
quietly,
Exactly,
That's it.
just
exactly,
quietly. Okay.
exactly.
Yeah.
Nah, that's facts. That's facts.
But I again with social with
That's
everything,
100% what I'm saying.
like, yeah, and I agree. But nowadays it's just information. Nothing's really secret. Like it's just hard to really keep a secret because you can't tell nobody. Like you have to be the only person who knows. Because once
True.
one person knows or two people, like it just take like they say a leak. Look at the NFL. We hear about stuff all the time. There's people who are just in organizations that just leak information, whether it's good or bad. Like we could keep everything a secret, then it wouldn't be we wouldn't have nothing to talk about. But
True.
yeah, no, I agree. I mean, you can't keep it quiet. I mean, kids don't have targets on their back. Everybody has their welcome to the NBA moment. Bronny May has his sooner than later. But then if he comes in and play good, that kills everything.
True.
That
Yeah.
kills
I
everything.
mean, it's just that added stress, and it's gonna make it
Yeah,
harder. But I mean, he can do it. Like it's possible.
you
But we'll
know,
just
Yeah,
have to
yeah. I
just
see.
come
mean,
in and play ball. Like,
Boys gonna be aiming. Y'all think they playing hard on Caitlin Clark? They gonna be
uh,
trying to put the cuffs on Bronny. That's
yeah,
hey,
even if
Jared.
he even gets any runs to start it off.
Yep.
Because have any of us seen making a team is one thing, being on the roster is
yeah.
one thing, but like, have we seen enough to even know that he's gonna get actual legitimate playing time? Can't say
No.
that I have.
I think it was crazy too, where they're talking about, yeah, they said he's not willing to sign a two-way contract. Like all that stuff, I think just
All
adds
that
to
stuff
it.
is
Where I'm like,
crazy.
you're just adding so much to the narrative. It's crazy to me. And
And what do
you
you think
actually
guys
just
on
said,
those two-way contracts are going to try to do to him, given the opportunity, whether
"Oh
it's in
my
the
goodness,
NBA or they're going
yes,
to try to kill him? Like,
yes."
They go way, way harder in the D League. Like way harder.
yeah, man,
Because everybody's fighting. Everybody's fighting and clawing for a
going to try to
two-way
get his
contract.
neck.
So
Yeah, it's actually
You
it's
think
funny
you
that you
good to
said
get a
that.
two-way? All right, bet. Watch
Yep,
this
right, yep, yep.
every game.
yep,
But again, maybe that's what he needs. Maybe he
Huh?
needs that pressure on him. You know
maybe
what I mean? Maybe it has
we
been
And
gonna
like
see.
his
no,
daddy had it, so
I'm
I
just saying, like
mean,
maybe
might be in his
like
blood.
going through high school and
Hey,
stuff and just having that name and just like you said, is maybe it hasn't been the hardest for him. Maybe he just don't. You know how kids when they Justin, you probably would know this better than Jared, just because our daughters and how they are. When they're not challenged, how they act.
hmm
So maybe a challenge to get him to lock in, and maybe it makes him focus better, and maybe he performs better.
Right.
hey, Jared, about your comment though, man? Man, I don't care if look, this for anybody listening. I don't care if you like LeBron or not. LeBron was different. Y'all can say what y'all want,
Oh
but coming out of high
yeah,
school,
yeah,
even with that
bro.
pressure, that boy was
Yes,
different. So
Lord.
like,
That's
I
what
don't
I'm
care how
saying.
much you
Like
want to hate on him. Bronny ain't that. Like
he dealt
he
with
ain't
it.
walking in the
Yeah.
gym at 6'9", 270, and you looking like
Nah, bro.
that sucker run like a deer.
And I
He
don't think
jumped out the gym like you know what I mean? Like you don't get
Nah,
that like the physical just the physical intimidation that comes
not
with
at all.
LeBron. You ain't getting that from Bronny. So
Uh-uh.
yeah.
he may still have a little growth in him. You know what I mean? Because he what
Might.
Not that much.
19? No, not that. No, not nothing
Mm,
crazy. He ain't about to. We're not gonna get.
no.
But I mean, even a few inches will help him.
Oh yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah,
Like
yeah.
3 inches will help.
Look, LeBron got the money if he want to get him to 6'5", 6'6", you know.
Man, we ain't gonna start that.
Yeah, we ain't gonna go down that
Might say
road.
anything. So yeah.
Nah,
Right.
man, that was good, man. Justin, what you got, man? What you got? Any final thoughts?
Man, well, two things, but one thing short. Shout out to my guy Ike. Hey, missing you, big dog. Hope everything's good. You see,
Yes,
I'm
sir.
on the podcast, and you ain't here, bruh. So you can't keep giving me a hard time. But nah,
Don't
bruh.
y'all start,
Hey,
man.
got it. Hey, got to shout out my guy Ike though, man. That's my guy.
For
I hope
sure.
all is well for him, man. But only thing I was gonna say is I don't know if y'all saw I posted it earlier, but I think this is pretty cool, man. That the MLB is gonna incorporate the Negro League stats into the
Yeah, I saw
historical
that.
records, and I thought that's pretty cool, man. Like I think there's a lot of guys, and I'm not a baseball guy by any chance, but I just think
Hmm.
that's pretty cool for them for that to happen because people don't realize there was a time when people of color couldn't play in the MLB, so their stats don't matter kind of thing. That's kind of how I
Yeah.
always looked at it. And like, and I'm no expert in baseball or any of that. I just think it's pretty cool that they're going to get recognized for the work and what they put into the game of baseball, man. So shout out on that.
Man, that's I ain't gonna start on them, but they're a horrible league brand. So that's a sport that just needs they need some new leadership. Them in the NCAA.
No, yeah. We ain't gonna even go down
Yeah,
that.
we ain't gonna go
Yeah,
down there because we'll be here
yeah,
another hour.
yeah.
But
Correct.
now, man, hey, look, thank y'all for being on again, man. I think it's another successful episode, man. We coming to the end, man. End of the finals, man. We'll go on our hiatus until week 1 of the NFL season, man. So have fun while we can. Man, and I appreciate y'all, man. Yeah, shout out Ike, shout out everybody, man. Shout out Crossroads, shout out everybody, man, who makes this show what it is.
Yeah, man.
Um,
Appreciate people tapping in.
yeah, man. Thanks for tapping in, share, like, subscribe, all that stuff.
Got
Oh,
one thing to show y'all before we go. The
oh,
eagle has landed. Hold on, let me.
What he got?
oh, man. You up to something?
Oh,
Oh,
all right.
okay,
I like it.
okay, all right.
I
Yeah,
see the signature.
this is my newest addition to the man cave, man. And when I got my job, I was like,
Yeah.
yeah, I know exactly what I'm getting ready to get. It costs way too much money, but hey, you only live once.
I'm with. Wow.
Wow. I look.
I think he actually hit the exit button when he put
He
the
got too
jersey.
excited. Hey, bro, got too excited. Hey, hey,
Oh no, I don't
hey.
know. Should we wait and give him a chance to come back in and finish?
We can see if he jumped back in real quick. That's nice
Oh
though.
man,
That
no,
jersey nice.
that was real nice. That was real
Hmm.
nice. He told me we was David's birthday was this weekend. He celebrated his birthday this weekend, so we was in Cincinnati together on Saturday.
Okay.
So yeah, nah, he told me he was getting it. That's nice
Hmm.
though. That's
That's a
real
nice
nice.
jersey. Yeah, matter of fact, I text David. Yeah, I text him and told him happy birthday, man.
Yeah, man, that's a nice jersey, man. We
Appreciate it.
Yeah.
Appreciate it. I had to do something nice for myself, man.
yeah.
Like it's work hard. You know, you finally get the life breaks that you've been waiting on. I was like, yeah, man, it's time. So
I know that's right. I know
Yeah,
that's right,
man.
bro.
Good,
treat
good.
Yeah.
yourself. I see you with the customized Pacers jersey on, Vernon.
Yeah, yeah,
Treat
man.
yourself.
You
Treat
know.
yourself.
Yeah, this was
Oh,
yeah. This is I don't know. It wasn't what yours was. It wasn't that type of money, but
right now,
I,
man. You know, hey,
I don't spend. I don't buy a
it's the
lot of
thought.
stuff for myself.
It's the
So
thought. You know, it is. You did
electronics.
something nice for
I can
yourself.
see my
I did
desk
something nice
is
for myself. But see, your electronics is probably killing mine though. So
yeah. Yeah, you
you
see
know,
what I got over here. You
it's
be
a
like,
trade off.
yeah,
You know, you
it
got
is
a
definitely a
camera
trade.
that follow you. Your should be like this.
Man, yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I don't want to hear nothing.
yeah. Yeah, man, I don't even want to talk. I would
See,
not discuss my
I
setup
already know.
cost.
I already know.
uh, but yeah, nah, man, that was nice. So man, I guess that's been it, man. We catch y'all next week, man. This has been another episode of the Epic Podcast. We holla.
Yes, sir.